And first at 6, we are tracking those strong storms that have been passing through the state right now.
Heavy rain and wind pounded Portland earlier tonight. You're looking live at the Eastern Prom, where you can see trees are down on roads.
There were reports of winds up to 60 miles an hour in the area, and our own Johnny Maffey snapping this big of a tree down on a car in Walnut and Montreal streets, and also on Portland's east end.
And take a look at what Forest Avenue looked like earlier tonight. Water rising almost above tires near RSVP. There were downpours outside of our studios. You can see plenty of lightning and thunder as well.
Yeah, this was pretty rough for about an hour or so, and it included this at times, some hail. Our viewers sharing video of this hail from North Waterboro. The National Weather Service issued a golf ball-sized hail in parts of New Hampshire today.
Another viewer sharing this great shot of a lightning strike this afternoon. Looking live at the Weather Authority radar right now, the worst may be behind us with those storms moving east.
Yeah, thank goodness. Let's send it right over to meteorologist Christian Bridges, though. He's been following these conditions really all afternoon, and Christian, boy, it was pretty rough for a while there.
Yeah, it certainly was, especially as those storms rolled through Portland. Of course, we had lots of street flooding reports, lots of wind damage reports, and even here at the station, we felt the effects of that storm. We had some parking lot flooding and a little bit of in-studio flooding here as well. So we're very happy that that rain has now come to an end. Portland breaking another rainfall record, the second one this week. Couldn't buy rain all summer, and then we set 2 records in the same week. It's kind of funny how the weather works.
So
here's a look at our
2 and 3 are flooded right now.
Wow, look at that storm rolling through, and then see that
next.
sunshine returning as we ended the day. So a few peaks of sun out there, but still tracking some lingering showers and storms. Take a look at our satellite and radar around the region. You can see one remaining heavy downpour with some embedded lightning down in York County. It moved through the Sanford area, now going to move through the coastal areas of York County, probably clip South Portland, and then move through the Cape Elizabeth region. You can also see we've got a couple lingering storms up in eastern New Hampshire now as the sun is setting. It's going to take away the storm fuel, so they're probably going to quickly taper off after sunset here, but heading towards the Sebago Lake region once again as we head into this evening. So maybe a couple more showers and storms out there before we wrap things up fully. But the severe threat is done. Of course, these storms put down a lot of rainfall. You saw those videos of the flooding on Forest Avenue here in Portland. You saw anywhere from 1 to 3 inches across the region.
So are we planning on
like I said,
having
Portland
rain at some
breaking a
point?
daily rainfall record yet again for the second time this week. So here's a little bit of a more high-resolution look at that area of moderate to heavy rain in York County. Moving to the east-northeast, going to move through the Cape Elizabeth area in South Portland. The heaviest rain avoids us here in Portland. Showers and storms taper off this evening. Dry air moves in tonight. A beautiful weekend ahead. Full of your forecast coming in just a few minutes. Back to you, Greg and Marissa.
All right, thanks so much, Christian. We're on your side now. Big traffic alert in Portland. I don't think it's about the weather either. There's a stretch of one of the busiest streets in the area is now closed.
The city says High Street from Spring to Congress is shut down because of an incident related to construction there. The city spokesperson says workers hit some underground utilities.
Now, that part of High Street is already down to 1 lane because of the Free Street corner construction. It could be closed at this point, we're told, for several days. Be prepared for that. Still, there are signs of progress on that project. It came to a screeching halt this summer. Crews started working again today at the intersection of Free Street and High in downtown Portland. This came after weeks of delay, costing businesses and prolonging the traffic trouble there. Top of Free Street has been closed to cars, even pedestrians. They have to take a big detour. That's been really frustrating for business owners who dealt with 2 summers of a pandemic, of course, and now a summer of construction.
It's been slow. We're down like 40%. Nobody knows how to get here. Nobody wants to deal with the traffic from construction.
I think any restaurateur will tell you that it's been difficult finding help this summer. That's really the reason why we haven't gone back to the hours that we had pre-pandemic. The construction up here, obviously, when you cut off the top of the street, it's going to affect the business in some way, shape, or form. So, I think it has affected us a little bit more than other restaurateurs.
According to documents obtained by CBS 13, Gordon Contracting offered the city 4 options to continue working at that site after discovering an electric vault which caused a delay. Paperwork shows that the city rejected actually all 4 options. The city responding, saying, quote, "They proposed options that they knew were not acceptable to us, even though we specifically detailed to them that there was plenty of work they could still do, while the utility companies were fixing their faults," end quote. Now, the city went on to say that the proposed plans would have led to additional street and sidewalk closures. And this time, it's not clear when that construction is going to be complete.
A man who went on a shooting spree in Down East Maine, killing 3 people, will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Our media partners at the Sun Journal report a judge sentenced Thomas Bonfanti to life in prison this morning. In February 2020, Bonfanti shot all of his victims in the head at close range in their separate homes. He shot a fourth victim, a girlfriend of one of the men who died, but she survived. Regina Long says she played dead and called police after Bonfanti drove away. She spoke today, saying Bonfanti blew all of her teeth out when he shot her in the face, saying, quote, "I can't eat, I have to drink most of my food." Long said, "I can't drive, just about every day I wake up crying and shaking." And the BDN reports a judge also sentenced Bonfanti to life in prison for aggravated attempted murder. Outside court, a prosecutor called Bonfanti a, quote, "inherently soulless human being." Maine game wardens say they've recovered the body of a missing man after the boat he was in overturned on the Androscoggin River last night.
CBS 13's Megan Wilgus explains why these searches can be so challenging and the message from wardens on anybody, really for anybody, heading out on the water.
Just before noon Friday, rescue crews pulled a body from the Androscoggin River. Around 7 p.m. last night, investigators say a boat overturned, dumping 3 people into the water in Topsom.
They were able to get 2 of the 3 people out of the river.
Drones, a dive team, and canine units continued their search in the morning. Daniel Menard from Maine Warden Service says they found the body of 32-year-old Richard Stevens.
Brunswick PD, Topsom PD, fire departments from Lisbon, Topsom, Durham, and the EMS from Lisbon have all been handy with this. And as long as our search and rescue dog assets too.
Menard tells us Stevens was not wearing a life vest. He urges anyone who's out on a river to wear one in order to prevent tragedies like this.
Life jackets save people's lives in a variety of different circumstances. So that's what we always push, even if the weather conditions don't warrant it, you should still have a life jacket on if you're in the water. He says the biggest challenge of this search and many other missing person searches is clarifying when that person was last seen. Whenever we get a report of what they think was the point last seen, we have to take that with a grain of salt. We don't exclude the rest of the area. We just, it's not a huge search area as we believe, so but that is a challenge. The boating incident is still under investigation. In Topsom, Megan Wilgus, CBS 13 News.
Now to South Portland, where bird waste is ruffling their feathers.
Mill Creek Park is home to about 200 mallard ducks and Canada geese, and according to the Press Herald, each bird is leaving behind about 2 pounds of droppings around the park's 10 acres every day.
Every day. Now, people who go to the park say they're fed up with feces.
Every Friday we knit in the park, and the birds have been kind of gross, leaving all their mess around. It's annoying, and we have to watch where we stop, walk and put our stuff down, so it's not pleasant to have them here.
City leaders say the USDA made recommendations to them to get birds to move elsewhere, including covering the grass with geese repellent, sprinklers, alarms, even remote-controlled boats out on the pond.
The city tells CBS 13 it wouldn't be until the spring, though, that any of those ideas would be implemented. After the break, a teen and her passenger injured after colliding with a dump truck in central Maine. How this happened and what happened to the other driver.
And don't place your bets just yet.
We're taking this very, very serious.
Why sports betting in Maine is not allowed, even though it is technically legal now. And how soon gambling on sports in Maine could happen.
CBS 13's Weather Authority 1, sponsored by O'Connor Chevrolet. Always moving, always tracking, always alerting.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Right place, right time. While at Cape Canaveral, Florida, to cover the upcoming Artemis rocket launch, meteorologist Nick Stewart saw this funnel cloud ominously close to the pad. There was no damage and no touchdown. This type of funnel cloud is associated with non-severe thunderstorms, and there was one nearby at the time, as shown here on Weather Radar. If the weather cooperates, the launch will be on Monday.
For more content like this,